Today we are in Richmond, Texas, in Harvest Green, and I am so excited to show you guys this community. Harvest Green's concept is probably one of my favorite development concepts. They are a agri-hood. I did not name it that. That's what its mama named it. That's what I'm calling it. And y'all, it's such a cute concept. It's such a nice concept. And I honestly think that's what a lot of us as home buyers have probably at one point or another said we wanted to see in our community, right? More fruit trees, more herbs, more native plants, more grapevines, just like anything that you can think of. That's kind of what Harvest Green is doing. So I'm gonna go into the details a little bit later in this video, but we're gonna start off by looking through some of the houses. Right here behind me, I have a David Weekley home. This is gonna be their 45, and I'm very excited to take you guys on this tour. They still have a lot of available lots. They actually just opened up a 65 section, so if we have some time, I would actually love to get out there, but we will see. We may have to do it in another video, but let's take a look. David Weekley is one of our first builders, and honestly, one of my favorite builders that I do enjoy seeing what their product is like. I have not seen this property, so we are watching it together. To start with, I'm loving the outside, but I always miss a good patio, so I will say that. I always miss a good patio on the front, but I am not mad at what I'm seeing here. We have a bedroom here at the front, from what I can tell, and then garage on this floor plan to the left, but you guys already know that's probably gonna be our office. Office space here, but we're gonna go right. First bedroom right at the front. This is a very spacious bedroom. I'm actually really happy with the size. And usually front bedrooms tend to be a little bit smaller, but this one is actually really pretty decently sized. Very spacious, feels good in here, and I'm actually liking the design that they did here. Okay. Closet is just your straight rod, but you can access all of it. So I am not mad at that. Okay, bathroom. This is probably going to also double as a guest bath. I'm liking the floors that they gave us here, but what I really do like about this is how tall the ceilings are. I'm noticing the ceiling height more in here. Probably because we have all of this tile going all the way up, which y'all know that's important to me. So this looks like this is probably going to be a secondary room or a study. We're gonna check the floor plan for this one just to see if there's double option for this, but I like that they kind of show you what older homes have been doing, right? And what David Weekley is doing now, which looks like we've got some sheathing, we've got insulation, 2x6 framing, PEX plumbing, and then they do a foam seal. So I like to see that. And then we probably have spray foam in the attic, which we're seeing a lot of new construction homes doing that as an option. Y'all, this hallway and that chandelier. We're gonna go left where we have mudroom, or I always say room, but really it's just a little mud area. And then looks like this would be your garage door. Obviously it's locked. We have access through the other side. So this would just be straight wall here. Storage, okay. we've got a nice little linen closet. I like the positioning of this because one, we're right by the garage door, also by our mud area, and then we have the linen closet, but we also have laundry room. So this is a very well done area in regards to layout. I like that we have a window in here too. As y'all know, I love my windows. And they give you a little folding station too. So for the people like me, where we struggle to actually fold our clothes, don't even take it out. Just slap it here, put the iPad, put the tablet up, fold your clothes. Just do it one time. It's set up for you. It's set up perfectly for you to do that. And of course, I like these cabinets. Color is, it's a little dark for me. I don't think it goes with the black. But as a laundry room, I really like the space. It doesn't feel too big, like we gave too much space to the laundry room, but it also doesn't feel super tight. Y'all. Okay. We're gonna get to that in a second, but I wanna take you over here because a lot of us work from home. A lot of us need that space. Maybe we're working from home. Maybe we are educating kids from home, doing stay at home, whatever we're using. We need the space. And I like how this space is laid out. Huge windows. This is so nice. This built-in is absolutely what I would need to be the most productive person in my life. You couldn't tell me nothing if I had this built in. And look at how much space we have in here because we still have a lot of space in between our chair rolling out here, having space here. I mean, we've got 2 big chairs, a bar cart, have all of the space in the middle, a bunch of drawer space. It's not soft close per se, but it does close softly. Or I'm sorry, it's not slow close, but it does close softly. Yeah, and then when we're talking about lighting, pretty standard. Yeah, and they've got it pre-wired in the model home for speakers. So I'm absolutely loving that space, especially as someone who does a lot of work from home. Now let's take a look at this kitchen, because hello, a kitchen is the heart of the home, right? Frigidaire appliances, which I love that. I don't know how I feel about touchscreen. We're so technologically advanced nowadays, but the storage and the fact that they go all the way up. Love that David Weekley does that. We just have so much storage. I also like that we have this vent cover here. It just really keeps a clean look. And I've never seen backsplash like this, at least not in any of the more recent ones that we've been looking at. So it's nice to always see that builders try new things and do more. And then of course, perfect pot and pan storage. If y'all are ever doing a kitchen renovation, I'm gonna be honest with you, you guys need to have this in your house. It just seems like the most convenient way to store all of your pots, your pans, baking sheets. It looks like we did 2 tones. So Island is darker brown. And then of course over here we've got, I wanna say this is more of a bluish gray. That's what it looks like in person. But I do like this island size. Even though you do have your sink in the middle here, I like the fact that your island itself is pretty huge. So you could set up bar stools and have more than enough space. It could be a buffet area. Like you can do a lot with this island. Okay, pantry. Okay. Definitely a little bit deeper than your average pantry. I really like that. And you know what, and a light, because some of these builders don't put lights in the pantries and it does not make any sense to me at all. I'm gonna be honest, this is not doing it for me. This is too narrow, but it still is big enough to where you can put a tea kettle, you can put probably like a single, I want to say like a single brewer, but this does feel a little claustrophobic. I wish they had done this on like the other side here, but yeah. And of course, Frigidaire appliance. Nothing too crazy to see here. Frigidaire fridge. But moving to what is our living room space and our dining room space technically. Going back, I love the windows. I think that is one thing that I'm noticing about this house is I'm liking these big square windows that they're giving us here. This is gonna be our dining room area, which I feel how I feel about having the dining room space like this. It makes sense in these layouts, especially with these floor plans. I do appreciate the houses that do tend to have its own dedicated space, but I do like how this space really adds to the essence of all of it. So, now the living room, loving the high ceilings. They gave us a little bit higher up ceilings in here and you can feel that difference. So even from here, you can see this was already a high ceiling. This is higher and I feel that in the space. I can also see it in that door frame over there. I also love sliding glass doors. I just absolutely love having them. They're like huge windows, but you can open them up to give yourself that indoor-outdoor feel. So I think that's a huge plus. Before we go to the primary, we're gonna go take a look at this other bedroom. So far, I'm absolutely loving the size of David Weekley's bedrooms, truly. I also like whoever did the staging at the back. Oh, okay, I see you with the teal. Typical one rod closet. Definitely could have done a little bit more in here. We've obviously seen that on this channel, but it is functional, right? We're not losing half of the closet because the door stops here. So I absolutely love that. And I love the ensuite bath. This part is just my favorite. And then of course we have dresser that's tucked in here. So just a lot of good space. Even if you don't need to do a dresser, you could do a desk here. You could do all your clothes in there and just make that space a little bit more functional. But you could do a desk, you could do a dresser. And then of course, ensuite bath here. Tile all the way up. We saw that in the last one and I really love when we take tile all the way up. Now, do I think this matches and this matches? No. But, and then we've got typical gray. They also give us a door. So instead of you having to use the sliding glass door, you also have your secondary door. We'll go outside in a little bit, but let's take a look at the primary. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This is a primary, yeah. And this part of the house feels like harvest green. So with that faux wind beam, with the chandelier, even just the shape of this wall, it feels very farmhouse-esque, which is what harvest green was going for. Now, also for the space in here, this is a beautiful amount of space. I feel like this is a perfect size for a primary. And these windows are absolutely amazing. Let's go primary bath. Okay. Closet. This is a decent sized closet. This is a decent sized closet. Wish we had done a different light fixture. I feel like it's 2025. We can let that light fixture go, but they gave you rods, they give you shelves. It's not wowing me like crazy, but it's definitely workable. Okay, I love these showers. Oh, and y'all, this is my thing, okay. I am so insanely passionate about the fact that if you are going to do a long shower like this, the handle cannot be over there. It cannot be over there. It has to be over here. So they get as many points as I have dictated to them because they simply did this. Because I have seen builders who do this long shower and then the handle is all the way on the inside. And I'm so sorry. That is just a no. You don't want to get wet when you're turning your shower on. You don't want to get wet. You don't want to have to like dart out. Also, this is a really long shower. So can we not do that? But they did that. They put it right where it needed to be. So for that, I am grateful. For that, I am happy. And you also get dual shower heads. So you have one here and then you have a rainfall shower head, which I do think that if you're going to do this, you have to do this. You have to give people the option because some of us, like myself, I am not washing my hair every single day. So if you simply give me a rainfall shower head, you are making bath time so much more inconvenient. Also, side note, I really like this tile, and I feel like this tile really ties into that harvest green aesthetic and vibe. Dual vanity. And then private toilet, definitely not super tight. I feel like if I were to shut myself in, it feels a smidge tight, but it does not feel super, super tight. So I do appreciate that. This though, this takes the cake. And this is probably my favorite part of this house. Let's take a look at outside. Okay. Pretty decent patio space. Obviously, you don't want to really block this area because this is going to be your sliding glass door. So this space does have to be open a little bit. You can still fit either a sofa set or like they have here, or you could do a table, but you're probably only going to get one or the other, and you're only going to get maybe like a griddle or a smoker unless you were to extend it out, which depending on the lot, you may be able to do that. Just gonna take a look at the lot itself. Remember, your lot is gonna depend on what parcel you pick. So it may not look like this specifically. It may look different, it may be smaller, it may be bigger. It's all dependent, but it just gives us a nice idea as to what we're working with the actual yard. And I do like this. I like when they do a nice border, especially because your primary room is right here. So I really, really enjoyed that part. Now let's go in and let's talk numbers. So the floor plan that we just toured is going to be the Athens, which is going to put you at about 2276 square feet. I do see that we have one that's going to be available in September, so this month, which is nice. That is going to put you at about 565, but if you are okay with going down in regards to square footage, you don't need that 2276. They do have another home, the Carroll Crest, that is going to put you at a starting price of $495. So it's pretty safe to say that for the 45 in Harvest Green for David Weekley, we're looking at a starting price point of $495 all the way up to $580 for some of their 2 stories. 580, 575, yeah, for their 2 stories. That will have you below $6 for any of like their 45s that we have here. Now, there are also some lots. This is just quick move-in, so stuff that's already ready, stuff that is currently under construction. Of course, we do have lots that are available. Those are gonna put you at a starting price point of about $464, and then you can go as high as about $590. So we're still sub 6s for the 45s for David Weekley and Harvest Green. Honestly, I like this house. I like the layout that we have here in regards to like the office, and I really like the primary. Those 2 spaces were very fun for me. And then of course that primary, stunning. Now, super shower, that is definitely probably going to be an add-on depending on if you're building or if the house that you're looking at comes with it. I think that having a shower tub combo makes for more sense, especially if we're looking for a long-term investment. Super shower is beautiful, but most people still want to just have the option of having a tub. So keep that in mind for any house that you're purchasing. All in all, I think David Weekley gave us a pretty nice home. Certain things that I would have just tweaked if I was doing the floor plan, like having that really tight nook for a coffee station. It's just like, we're not using that. That's not functional space. But everything in regards to cabinetry, in regards to our fixtures, I like that they gave us something that was unique. And I just noticed we have black poles, but we have gold handles. Interesting. As far as builders go, David Weekley is a great builder. I do enjoy selling their products. I enjoy when my clients find the floor plan that works for them. So you can't go wrong with the David Weekley. You just have to find the floor plan that works for you. So we just left David Weekley, and I'm gonna be honest, it didn't scratch the itch that I was looking for. It is a solid home, beautifully done, but I wanna take us to Perry because Perry is a tried and true. It is a favorite amongst buyers. Honestly, Harvest Green, Perry Homes, I really think we're in for a treat. So let's go take a look, and then we'll talk about incentives, pricing. Y'all know how this is done, come on. As always, we're gonna start with the outside, which this is your typical Perry Homes. I do like this front. I'm not gonna hold you. I like what they did here. What I wish the builders did, and this is just for the showmanship and really to tie in, is I wish they did more herbs instead of bushes, because they did a lot of bushes. Yeah, they did a lot of bushes, but Harvest Green is about harvesting and agriculture, and it would have been cute to see, I want to say mint, but y'all, mint is not going to do it, but to see something like rosemary here, a rosemary shrub or lavender, that would have been nice. That's just my little, if I was the builder. But let's go ahead and take a look. Absolutely love the entryway, and I'm liking that we don't have gray floors. I like that we are going back to a very wood-like look. Bedroom 1, which is to the left of the front. This is pretty spacious. This feels cozy. It doesn't feel like I have excessive amount of space, but it does feel cozy, it does feel comfortable. Now, love the windows, but one thing I will notice is you really won't have room here for a dresser. You're not gonna have that space at all. We do have our ensuite bath, which I like the coloring of the tile. That circular tile is a miss for me personally, but those are just my personal feelings. But I love that we have this window back here. I love that we have this window. I won't lie, at this price point, I would have rather seen a frameless shower at the price point that we're at. But I'm not mad at the shower. Really simple tile going up, but they did take it all the way up. And I see why they didn't give you space for a dresser, because they gave you pretty much enough space in here for your closet. So you don't really need a dresser if you're going to utilize this closet space. You can just keep this as your bedroom, but you still wouldn't have room for a desk. So I would have still appreciated that space. Imagine this is walled off. That's how I imagine this is going to end up going, because this would be your garage. But of course here, we'll actually go around this way since we have the option. Mud area, and more than likely your door will probably be here as well. And then you'll come out this way. So door here to garage, and then you'll have access to the rest of the home here. This is gonna be your laundry room. Currently there, storage, but this would be your laundry room. Super spacious. I do miss the fact that we don't have a window in the laundry room. I just really enjoy having a window for some reason. Now the kitchen I do love, in part because we have an island that breaks up the space, and we have nothing on top of the island. Our sink isn't here, our stovetop isn't here, it's just island. And of course, we don't have slow close on those, but I like that we have a much wider coffee station here. Not the biggest fan of the pantry space. It does feel a little narrow, especially in comparison to what we've seen. But we still have a pretty decent amount of storage, because we've got storage on our island, got storage underneath, bottom cabinets, top cabinets. We've got a 4-burner, I'm gonna be honest. I wanna see a 5, but I still like that we have this hood that is hidden and is covered. One of my favorite things that I've noticed are gonna be these fixtures though. I just think they're really unique and they're fun to look at. So that is a huge plus. And then absolutely love, what do we have for, I didn't even tell you guys, we're looking at GE appliances on this model home. So I think it's pretty safe to say we see a lot of GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire. Those are probably the top ones that we'll see. This island is doing such heavy lifting in this kitchen because the amount of storage that you have here is actually insane. Before we go here, we're gonna go to the right because we do have some rooms over here. So this was going to double as probably your guest bath and your bath for your other rooms. Really simple. We've got silver poles. We kept the same flooring that we had in the rest of the house here. Tile is simple too. Wish we took it all the way up, especially since we went with simpler tile. But that is me. Now, bedroom space. I love the oversized windows because I don't know if you guys can tell, but this window is just extra long. Extra long. I like the space that we have in this bedroom. We have a ton of space, and granted, this is missing toys and play mats, but still, walking in, we have a lot. Now, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. I hate the boob lights are not my thing. Closet space, though. Really decent sized closet space. Really happy with the closet space size that we have here. And we've got some storage here too. So that's also a big plus there. This is actually the cutest room that I have seen in a minute. I just really like the colors that are going on in here. It's very cozy and very inviting. But obviously we're here for size. Size is about the same as the other one. I do feel like this room and the last room that we were just in were bigger than the first room that we saw, because we have this dresser space and because we've got some space in between the wall and our nightstands. So those are things to notate. I think that these two rooms are going to give you a little bit more. And then of course, closet is still very functional. We still have a lot of space up here that could be utilized if you wanted to. It's just a really decent sized space. I'm happy with this space. I feel like anyone would be. So we have our island, right? But we still have this bar top area. So I do really appreciate that. Me and my family typically don't use a table too often. So for those of you who don't, this is a really great functional space, but it is nice to see how you could add a table to really maximize the space and fill it up. And fill it up is so right, because they have added a whole leaning wall shelf, 3 leaning wall shelves, and we still have this entire walkway. And even with our dining room here, we still have all of this space in the middle. So we've got really good separation happening between the dining room area and then the living room. I like these. Really like those windows. Which we have that same type of format happening there. So not the sliding glass door that we just saw, but honestly, I think these are really nice. And you don't really have to worry too much about the seals on a sliding glass door, but you still get all of that stunning light. We're gonna go primary first but I love when our primary has its own little hallway space. It just makes it feel more private. This is a nice primary, and I'm talking specifically in regards to sizing too, because this one does feel big, right? We've got these big oversized windows that are letting in all this natural light. We've got a king size bed in here. We've got oversized, these are huge, honestly, nightstands. And we still have space. We still have a ton of space. So I'm actually loving this primary size. Now, yes. This is a bathroom I can get behind. One deep soaking tub, no jets. It's deep. It is so deep, and it is so long. And it is encased, so you can store things on the side of it. You can, oh my gosh, you can put stuff on the top there. This is a tub that I am for. Now, dual vanity, but we have a split vanity. Okay, so obviously, whoever has more stuff is taking this side, because you also get a little bit more storage too in here. And then we have our secondary vanity, a little smaller, but it's functional. You could do something with that for my guys. Private toilet feels good. It actually feels very roomy. I feel like I can spread my arms out I'm not gonna feel claustrophobic in here if I were to shut the door. I like when our private toilet areas are actually giving us space. And then closet. Okay, we've got some built-ins happening here. I'm liking the way they did the closet in here. And I like that it feels big. And then they just gave us some recessed lighting, which I appreciate. So before we go over there, I just want to see what our storage situation is like here. Pretty decent storage. And we've got some floor storage at the bottom for any excess toilet paper that we want to keep there. But let's talk about the shower. So we've already seen a super shower, which is just a super long shower. But here we have what is a more reasonable shower space, but it is still so big, you guys. This is actually very, very big. In my opinion, you can do, this is fine. This is more than you need. One thing I want to notate that I do like is that this, you've reached the handle here. Very few builders are doing this with your traditional laid out shower. Usually it would still be here, right underneath it. So the fact that we have that, Perry Homes thought about the detail of that. On the bench, in the shower, we still have all the space between us and the door. You could get out of the way of the shower head if you wanted to. Like someone could step in, you could sit here, someone else can shower. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the supreme shower tub combination that you probably don't get. This is probably one of the best combos. That's all I have to say about that. So let's take a look at the backyard because we haven't seen that. Patio space is a little smaller. So once again, you're probably going to only be able to fit a table or a sofa, a little outdoor sofa set like they've got here, and probably a griddle or a smoker. You're not going to do a whole lot of crazy both combinations. But one thing I will say is you've got lighting out here, you've got a fan out here, and they actually did do a gas install. So if you wanted to do a kitchen, outdoor kitchen area here, you could. So that is nice to know. And then of course, backyard. As always, this is not your lot. You can pick your own lot. It will look different, but this shows you what your options are and what we're working with right here. So appreciate that we can see that. And then your primary is gonna be in the back here. All in all, really simple backyard space. Nothing to write home about in this regards, but I think seeing what we've seen from Perry so far, I really do like the bathroom in this one. I do like the kitchen in this one because I just love that island. And then we got 4 bedrooms. So I mean, this was a solid layout, solid home. So now that we've seen the entire house, let's take a look at pricing. We've got homes starting at $499. We're just gonna say 5, we're gonna say 5. All the way up to about $570 is what we have for available homes. This is also, Perry Homes is also doing $25,000 incentives for all of their available homes as well. So that's something that you can use to do a rate buy down. You can also use it to reduce the price even more if you want to. Really, you'd have to play with the numbers to see what makes sense for you, because you could also probably put that towards your closing cost, whatever you need. Not everyone is going to use that $25,000 the same. I've had clients who they just didn't want to bring anything to closing, right? Except for if they had to do a down payment, their down payment. I've had clients who just wanted a lower interest rate. So work with your lender to see what works best for you in your specific situation. But it is nice to see that we've got some price reductions And we also have another layer of incentives that are gonna be thrown on top. Now, what is going to make Perry a little bit different? Well, one, Perry's gonna offer you a 2-year warranty on workmanship. There is no other builder that I can think of that is doing 2-year warranty. Typically it is a 1-year warranty, not with Perry. The other thing to consider is that Perry Homes, for every home that they build, they do a third-party inspection. Now that is property of Perry Homes because they paid for the inspection, but your home is going through third-party inspections aside from just the inspector that you are going to have come through. So I think that really speaks on their quality, their concern for the product that they're putting out. And you can request to see that inspection. They're not going to give it to you, but they will show it to you. Keep that in mind. And you should be getting your own inspection anyways. So that don't even matter. You need to get your own inspection. Now, they did just open up a new section in Harvest Green. That's gonna be section 53. All of their lots are available. And I'm gonna show you why all their lots are available. Because, so what is this? Section 42 still has lots that have not sold. So what that means is they are trying to sell out what they have for section 42 first. That is gonna put you a little bit further back in the neighborhood. And then for section 53, once they sell all of that out, you'll probably see less of a markup, but right now for section 53, which is gonna put you a little bit closer to the middle of the community, if you wanna be in that section, you're gonna be paying a premium for it. But those lots are all available. You can build on it. You can pick the one that you want. And y'all, I'm looking at it. We have some pretty decent sized lots, specifically looking at 234, 3318, 3222. These are some really nice lots that they have here. So I would definitely not wait too long if you are interested. I've already touched on some of it, but I think my favorite here is going to be the island. I really enjoyed that primary. That shower tub combo was amazing. I think the bedroom sizes were also really good too. So first bedroom definitely leans to be the smaller of the bedrooms, which is not a surprise. It is at the front of the house, so that's typically how that works. But the fact that you still had an ensuite bath, you had that nice closet, spacious closet in the front, it kind of balanced itself out. This home definitely checked a lot of boxes for me. I think y'all would like this house. But y'all are gonna tell me if you like it or don't like it, so it doesn't matter what I think. This is gonna be the last house that we're touring on this video, but I feel like we're ending on a high note. This is gonna be Newmark. This is their 50. So we looked at 245s, we're throwing in a 50, and y'all, I'm excited to see what Newmark gives us because they are one of those builders. They tend to do things very custom. They can do things very custom. So if you're looking for a production builder, but you want to make some changes to your house, Newmark is going to be the one. So let's go in, let's take a look, and let's see what we've got.
Entry doors open.
Study, which this is a huge study. Absolutely love the built-ins that we have here and the light fixtures that we have. Also, I appreciate the fact that we have a true entryway. This will be walled off, but that'll be your garage. We'll start with the kitchen because we're so close to it. I'm loving this green. We don't see them go with colors like this very often, but we have two-tone cabinets and they do black at the bottom, which I think is perfect for the screen, especially with these black finishes and black pulls. Love the island. I know that we've talked about how the island is nice when you don't have anything on it, but this island is so big that even having the sink on there takes up no space in comparison. If you notice, you also have a filtration system and you get a reverse osmosis system. with this house. I just love that they gave you an excessive amount of these drawers, because I'm gonna be honest, those are the only drawers that I accept now. Solid pantry space. Solid amount of pantry space. And of course, we've got Frigidaire appliances across the board. Built-in microwave, especially at this price point, is a must. Frigidaire stove. Just love when they give us the good stuff. Y'all see this windows? This little windowed section? Won't lie to you guys, this would be my reading nook area, because this is the perfect shape for one, but we have dining room here as well. So we've seen this in all three of the houses that we've been in. I think that's pretty standard for most builders. That's how they give you the option to lay it out. And then of course, you can see we still have enough countertop space here to just have a nice, simple breakfast eating area if you don't want to do formal dining, or if you just don't feel like eating at your dining room table. This is a 2-story, so our ceilings are so high. And I like that they took windows pretty much all the way up, so we're getting in a lot of natural light. But more specifically, I'm liking the flooring, I'm liking the living room. There are hints of gray on this floor, but it's not gray. And I love whoever designed this. I like what they did here. Not really a fan of the picture, but I do like this whole setup here. It is so unique and really captivating. We're gonna go in the primary first before we go outside and then go upstairs. But I'll show you guys the half bath, which this is a fun little pattern they put into the ground. Very simple half bath. Nothing crazy, but honestly, simple, clean, and spacious, which I like to see. Okay, primary. This is a spacious primary. One, I think as a, like interior wise, I'm thinking about how they've designed this. This really fits the Harvest Green vibe, but this is huge, y'all. Like, look at this floor space that we have in between our bed and our wall. Mind you, extra long nightstands, king size bed. I mean, we've got space, and we still have space here in between our dresser and our bed. So, not mad at that at all. This is super spacious. Huge closet. I mean, huge closet. And y'all know me, I'm gonna tell you, make it custom and you can fit 10 times more. Plus it looks like we have a little storage access there, so you could probably throw some things up there, which is a nice plus. Now, let's see primary, because the large format tile is already a win for me. I actually love that. I really like this. One, I like this design. Oh my gosh, Newmark. Newmark really did their big one with the design, because we've got tile here. It is textured. It feels a little textured. This is a huge soaking tub. And you guys know I'm a window girl, so having the window here and letting in all this light, A1. Getting over to our dual vanity, definitely a nice dual vanity setup. Liking that we kind of mixed and matched, I should say, with black finishes, gold poles, not soft close. But I do like that they gave us some unique lighting, because I really do appreciate when builders do the unique lighting setup and then they still give you your recessed lighting, which we have in the bathroom, because you can't do your makeup with this lighting, but it is a vibe, and that's what really matters. Toilet, I'm gonna be honest, it feels a little tight, a little tight. Not too crazy, maybe it's just the doorway. I think it's actually just the door. I'm in here now. I think it's just the way that the door is angled, but it doesn't feel bad when you're actually in it. So I'm not even gonna complain about that. But I think my favorite one at the price point that we're at, which the way I feel about houses, let me get on my soapbox. Is that what they call it? Let me get on my soapbox. I feel like we're at the point where houses cost so much that certain things just have to be left alone. A frame shower needs to be left alone. Unless we're in the 200s, if we're anywhere in the 300s, mid 300s, I want a frameless shower. So with that being said, I am grateful that we have a frameless shower, and I really like the tile that they picked all around. I wish we had a bench. That is the only thing that I miss in here, but it does feel a little tight to have gotten one in. But I love the tile that we have here. It looks like they did the same type, they just changed the color. And then of course, black finishes, black Delta finishes. This shower does feel a little bit tighter in comparison to what we've seen, but I like the design a lot more. And honestly, it's still enough room to bathe. So what I won't do is complain too much about that. But y'all, come on now. I didn't even get into those fixtures. I saw them, forgot to mention them, but I absolutely love those fixtures over the island. I think they're stunning. Let's take a look outside before we go upstairs. Okay, so patio space. It is a little bit bigger than what we have been looking at. So you have a little bit more room. Obviously, I don't know what the positioning is on this right now, but you could probably do a table. You could probably do a little lounge set, and you would still have room for griddle, smoker, whatever it is that you want to do out here. I will say I like this yard, but remember, say it with me now, you pick your lot. So your lot will not be this big. It will also not be so small. It will be whatever you decide you want it to be. But viewpoint, somebody's cooking curry, y'all. Viewpoint from the back, beautiful, really stunning. Honestly, the appearance of this house is just magnificent. And I really like this particular lot a lot. Because even that little space over here, like you just have a lot of side space. And I'm also noticing the little details like the black trim windows. Just really enjoying what Newmark is giving. Let's take a look at upstairs. We're gonna go to the left first. These rooms are huge, man. I love this room size. Pretty decent sized closet. Oh, y'all, I think we've seen enough houses to know what are my favorite things. tile going up and a window bench. But not only is this a window bench, it has storage underneath. Oh, this is a kid's room, y'all. Like, this is, I absolutely love this. Bedroom is huge too. So let's also say that this bedroom is bigger than the one that we just came out of. Is what it feels like. Closet does feel about the same size as the last one, but this room is stunning. Any child would be so lucky to grow up here. We have a bath, so you've got your own door that connects to this one here. We've got tile going all the way up, black finishes, cast iron. Really simple vanities that they did, but honestly it works. I like it. Looks like that's your only light source, and then you've got a light source over there. So, and then of course, put you right back out into the hallway. Storage upstairs. So for my board game lovers, those of you who play some D&D and are making miniatures, I don't care what the hobby is, you've got storage for it in here. A little media, or I'll say a game room. But before I show you guys that, I just have to show you guys the view that we have from up top here from our game room. So game room opens up to secondary living space for the kids, is how they have it displayed. Really spacious, really wide. I mean, I may be exposing myself, but this would probably be our D&D area. In my household, we play D&D. This would probably be where we store the miniatures, where we are actually have the table set up. I mean, my husband can do some damage, so. And we have even more storage. So your game room actually has game storage, which I love because sometimes that is an afterthought. And last but certainly not least, additional bedroom. I love the amount of windows that we have in here because it is so bright. We have an ensuite bath, which I love this flooring. I love how fun this looks. We've got storage here. Sink. And I'm loving this tile. Looks like they went with chrome finishes in this one, which isn't bad. It doesn't, I mean, it definitely doesn't look bad at all. It's just something to notate. Yeah, I mean, this is a nice bathroom. I really like this bathroom. The bedroom on this too is very spacious, so more than enough space. And then I love when a closet has windows. So we have a super wide closet here. This is probably one of the bigger closets that we've seen out of our bedrooms, our secondary bedrooms. I have a lot to say about Newmark. I think this is my favorite home. So now let's talk numbers, let's talk inventory. Newmark is on their closeout, so that means that they don't have as many homes as other builders may have in the community, but Newmark is still a builder that is not to be trifled with. I'm just saying. Right now they have one that is available that is going to be the Vienna floor plan, which is the floor plan that we actually toured today. Different finishes, but similar layout. Remember, Newmark is going to give you the ability to do semi-custom or even do redraws. So what you see here, you may not see certain things in the Vienna floor plan that is coming up. But if you were to go for another lot that doesn't have anything on it at this time, you could probably ask for a redraw. You could really make the floor plan which you're specifically looking for, whatever suits your family's needs. Let's see, price point for that We went from $699, we're at $669 right now, so we've seen a pretty steep reduction. We may even have a little bit more wiggle room there. So that is something to consider, and that's gonna put you in for an October move-in. They do have about 5 more homes that are going to be available come November, December, maybe a couple in the spring, and they'll be closed out in Harvest Green. A few things to note about Newmark, which is, we've kind of already touched on it, right? Semi-custom. So if there is something that you want, it doesn't hurt to ask. That is probably the Newmark way. If you want something, just ask for it, see what they can do. They have a team of architects. They can make visions come to life as long as it is something that is within scope. So, other thing that I like to notate for them is you're getting spray foam in your exterior walls, your attic, at the top of the attic, you're getting full gutters, sprinkler system. So when we're talking about insulation, when we're talking about heating and cooling, this is a big house with tall ceilings. You want to have some of the best insulation possible. And I know we've taken a look at David Weekley, Perry, and Newmark. And I know you guys remember seeing in David Weekley, in our walls, we had insulation, right? The like roll-out foam insulation, and then we had spray foam, probably in the attic, is what they were showing. And then of course they have it sealed at the bottom. You have spray foam in your exterior walls. So any wall that touches the exterior, they've taken that cost in. They're making sure that they give you a product that is going to stand the test of time. I appreciate that, I respect that. Spray foam, if you have a resale home like myself, it is so costly to get it done in your houses. So going with a new construction that already has it, amazing. Another thing to notate for them is that you actually have the ability to go to the design center before you even go under contract. So you can take a look at the finishes, you can take a look at what they have. You don't have to be under contract to do that. Not many builders do that. So that is a nice plus. And then for all of their homes, you will get that water filtration system that we saw earlier with the reverse osmosis system. You will only have it on your kitchen sink. So if you want it in other areas of the house, it's going to be an add-on, but it's nice that it's just thrown in because a lot of the times it is not. Now, Newmark has other communities that they're building in. I'm sure we're going to see them again. So this will not be the first. Well, I guess this is the first actually. This is the first, and this won't be the last time that we pop our heads into a Newmark home. They are a great builder. They have stunning layouts. I mean, and they have something for everyone. That's one thing that I like to notice, or one thing that I have noticed. We've got about 17 floor plans. 5 of them I want to say are 1-stories, 12 are 2-stories. And even for their 1-stories, remember we said semi-custom, so you can even do a half-story on those 1-stories. You have a lot of options, and wait a second, you can even do multi-generational living for some of your 2-stories. So if you were looking for a builder that really works with the client, Newmark. Now, in regards to what we have incentive-wise, refrigerator, washer, dryer, plus they're giving away blinds. Obviously, if you go with their lenders, so all of those finishing touches that you need are going to be free. We've already seen a price reduction. So for a house like this, for a builder like this, I would really say coming in kind of with, hey, this is what I want to throw out there. Can we see if we can make this work? They're going to work with you. The sales agent's going to work with you. It has to make sense for both parties, but we came down from $699 to $669. So we're already at a $30,000 price reduction. We may have a little bit more wiggle room, but for this floor plan, I think this is a solid price. And that specific house that we were talking about, the other Vienna, that actually is going to have no back neighbors. So you will just have land behind you. You won't have to share that fence with anybody. I think that's a huge plus. We've seen 3 houses today, and I think out of all of them, Newmark takes the cake for me, just in regards to their semi-custom ability. The fact that they have the redraw plan for my pickier buyers, I think, and then also just the layout, y'all. Like the design of this property was just really well done. So I'm very happy with Newmark. I'm usually a one-story girl, and we saw 2 one-stories, and the 2-story just took it home for me. Now, let's talk about the community itself, because we've talked about each of the builders, but we haven't actually talked about Harvest Green and what makes Harvest Green so unique. I've touched on this a little bit, but Harvest Green is a agri-hood, which really is just their way of saying that they have prioritized growing fruits and vegetables and really making a agricultural presence be the image of their neighborhood. So when you drive in, you're actually seeing a row of grapevines that are just growing for their winery. They've got a veggie share program. You're able to get fresh vegetables delivered to your door if you live in the neighborhood. If you don't live in the neighborhood, you can still participate in the veggie share program. It's gonna cost you a little bit more. You have to pick it up, but it is still there. They have that edible landscaping. So like we talked about, I feel like the builders definitely miss that, but I feel like they have it because when you're driving in, you can kind of see that edible landscaping. And that is something that they are big on promoting. They want people to have access to that and to be able to utilize that. I think one of my favorite parts of Harvest Green is going to be the farm club, where you can basically rent out a bed to grow your own food. You all know I like to do that at my own personal home, so it is definitely not something that is a must. You can get your own flower bed and throw it in the backyard, but if we're talking about community engagement, wanting to just participate, then also maybe you just don't want it in your backyard. That is a really good option, and I just think it's a great way to get out there and get involved in your community. As far as amenities go, you're going to have access to pool, splash pad, fitness gym, fitness studio, parks, playground, tennis, volleyball courts, lake and docks, dog park, and then one thing I've noticed with a lot of these master plan communities is you have a lifestyle director now that does a lot of community events and engagement. So the goal is to bring the community together, and so they've actually designated somebody who does that job specifically. So nice to know. And you also have that winery like we talked about before, and then the kitchen restaurant area. So with the vegetables that are grown in the community. Now, going into the numbers that I know you guys care about, HOA fees, we're looking at about $1,210 per year, which is pretty in line for a community like this. If you're in the gated section, you are going to be looking at about an extra $900 or so dollars, $932, about an extra $932 on top of that. So you're looking a lot closer to $2,200 roughly. Tax rate, Harvest Green is spread out into 3 different MUD districts. So we're gonna have you at 2.73, 2.68, 2.85. Depending on where you buy, that's gonna depend on your tax rate, but that's not a terrible tax rate. I'm gonna be honest with you. Usually for a community like this, we see about 3.1, 3.2. I've even seen 3.3, 3.4. So 2.73 to 2.85 is not bad at all. In school district, as always, I'm gonna tell you, do your due diligence, but you are going to be in Fort Bend ISD. Do your research, see how you like it. But Fort Bend ISD is going to be the school district that all of the homes in Harvest Green are zoned to. Now, the one thing that I did check on is Harvest Green in a CRA zone. Yes, it is. So, y'all know, I don't know if I've spoken about CRA zones much or in great detail, but what that means is that there is a conventional loan program that is available to you that allows you to put 0 down, no PMI, and if there are grants available, you can even get a grant towards the purchase of your home. You must qualify for a conventional loan to be able to use this loan program. But when we're talking about a loan program that is similar to like the VA loan, but for civilians, the CRA is probably one of the closest ones because of that 100% financing. And of course, because of that no PMI, The most random parts of Houston will have it, and it's because the CRA zone does have different qualifications, but the way that a lot of areas in Houston end up getting in is because of their minority percentage rate. I can do a separate video on that if you guys want more detail, but all in all, Harvest Green, love the concept, beautiful community. I think I found my new favorite builder out of all of the builders that we saw today. Newmark. I cannot wait to show more of them on this channel, but I am curious. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys liked the houses that we toured today, which one was your favorite. Y'all are gonna tell me anyway, so I don't even know why I have to throw this in.